reviewing a book today. The book's called How to Be Rich and Happy. It's a great title, isn't it? It's one of those ones where you read the title and you think, wow, I hope this is going to work. I hope it does what it says it's going to do on the cover. So does it? Well, yes it does. And if you're an entrepreneur, you've probably read books like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich and How to Win Friends and Influence People. Those are kind of standard entrepreneurs reading material, and we've all been through them. For me, they have two really big issues. They are books of their time, and they were written in the early part of the last century. And that has two effects. One, it means that the language isn't very natural for us. You're kind of wading through a bunch of heretofores and nonethelesses, and kind of language we don't use. And it means that reading them is relatively slow, and if you're anything like me, you've got to go back sometimes and think, well, what does that actually mean, and interpret it into modern day language. The other issue with them is the examples they use. And they use people like industrial moguls like Henry Ford and Carnegie the Steel Man and so on. And whilst they're fascinating characters, and sure they've had a big influence on the way we do business now, they are historical figures. Well, How to Be Rich and Happy overcomes those two problems. I mean, first of all, it's written in modern day language. It could almost be blog language. You just flow through the book very, very quickly. And the second thing they do is they use modern day figures, people like Richard Branson and Donald Trump, who we're familiar with, who have had their success in our modern times. But here's the best thing about How to Be Rich and Happy. It kind of forces you to take action, which the other books don't. If you're anything like me, you read Think and Grow Rich, and you thought, yeah, those are some great ideas, I'm going to incorporate them into my thinking. What How to Be Rich and Happy does is it actually makes you take action whilst you're reading the book. So you'll come to a chapter and there'll be a section where you've got to fill in the answers as they relate to you. And there's no point in not doing it, because if you don't do it, when you get to the next section, it becomes kind of irrelevant. So you're forced to take action. And it worked for me. It's made me take action. And I've actually been living, or working, I should say, by the principles in the book now for 7 days. And it has had a positive effect on my productivity, and more importantly, on my state of mind. And I'm really not going to explain that any further, because the only way to find out what I'm talking about is to read the book. It's not cheap. It's $47, but it's available for instant e-download. And I think it's a cracking book. I absolutely loved it, and it has had an impact on the way I do things. So somewhere on the page that you find this video, you'll find a link to go and look at it. Go and read up on it, find out some more, and perhaps look up some other reviews that other people have done about it. I would imagine they'll be positive as well. This is Mike from Mike's Life, and it's been good talking to you.